Let's ask questions, right? That's what you do.
So we have a deck profile of a cool deck called, like, it's like a Relinquished. What would you call it?
Relinquished stun.
Yeah, so show us the deck. We have the monsters
cool.
and spells.
So basically, the point of the deck is to special summon this guy, who, if most of you guys do recall, is a pretty sick card. It's instant +1. Or once you get it out on the field, you can take not control. You can take one of your opponent's monsters and equip it to this card. If it's a face-up monster, you get that monster's attack and defense points respectively. And if your opponent would destroy this monster by battle, the equipped monster gets destroyed instead. We both take the difference of damage equally. So
you run 3 of those, right?
Yeah, so we run 3 of these. Cool. So I'll get to you later why I use this card as the Relinquished stun. So in this, to get this card quicker, we use 3 tour guides. Staple.
That's rare. You got those.
Yeah, couldn't afford for 200 each.
Yeah.
So so now tour guides are important because you'll say, hey, this is a spellcaster, and tour guides only gets fiends. Fiends is because you can get this guy out. So now you get this guy out. He's a 3-star fiend. His ability is if you use him as a ritual cost to get Relinquished, your opponent cannot special summon monsters as long as Relinquished remains face up on the field. Pretty sick, huh?
Yeah.
Stops Gores, Faders, Treeborns, Rabbits. Stops a lot of things, it's almost except for, I guess, Insectors.
Yeah.
If they use their popping effects from their hand. Other than that, you get these guys out. And it's pretty much a stun. And then there's another additional stun that got to the deck. I'll go to that later. So in terms of monster-wise, 3 Manjas of 10,000 hands, a staple for any ritual deck. Is you search for the spell or the monster. So whatever you're missing, search for that one, I guess. 2 Armageddon Knights. 3 chances to be a dead draw. 2, I can pretty much pop any card in my deck. Most of them are darks. But you mainly want to get this guy out. Because this guy's other effect is you can use him as a ritual cost from the graveyard.
Yeah.
So Relinquished as a 1-star, easy if he's in the graveyard. Pop, get rid of him. Get Relinquished, take instant control. And then they can't special summon. So and in the situations where like there's a big heavy army, I'll get rid of Necro Gardenas. This, 2 Summoner Marks. I'll dead spell cards half the time, so drop the spell cards like MSTs. If my opponents aren't using.
You get a Manju or a...
No, not the Manjus because the effect doesn't go through, but usually Armageddon Knights to pop, or a Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. I have one of those. 3 Veilers, I think they're a staple.
Yep, you need to run 3 of those.
Stops a lot of things for Relinquished. I guess Monarchs would be a problem. Insectors are a huge problem. Then there's like really random decks like Empty Jars and Flip Jars. Chain Burns, if they got Marshmallow and stuff. Or Morphine Jars. And there's a lot of stuff you can stop. Staple.
BLS.
For like a chaos deck almost.
Wins games. Put BLS in all the decks.
Protections for 2 Necro Gardeners. These guys can drop. Use them as ritual cost. You'll end up being a graveyard. Cyber Dragon, just to get out on the field quicker. If for my sides, I'll get out Jinzo. But mainly, I use it as a beat stick to get over, tour guides. Or not tour guides.
That's cool.
I use it as a Cyber Dragon to get over like Thunder Kings, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Sengen, searching fodder. Search for Manjus, tour guides.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, some situations even that, and then Gores for protection.
So that's the monsters, like a bunch, and blah.
Yeah.
And for the spells.
Only 2 of the spell cards to use to summon Relinquished.
Ritual.
3 can sometimes be a dead draw. And I only use 2 because of these cards.
Preparation of Rites.
Where you do it, this is pretty much a big plus. We search your deck for the ritual monster card, add it to your hand. And if the ritual spell card is in your graveyard, you can add that card to your hand also. An amazing plus. So that's why sometimes 3 could be necessary, but like even 3 could be a dead draw if you have all your Relinquishes drawn out of the deck, so you can't activate it. But sometimes for summoner marks, it might be necessary, but I prefer 2 personally. Now here's another part of the stun. Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Since Relinquished is a spellcaster, and
Baylor.
Taylor, I guess, Kaiku. I mean, I might even have cited in Chaos Sorcerers. So this card is, as long as I control a spellcaster, my opponent cannot use spell cards. So it's pretty solid. Stops a lot of stuff that use a lot of pretty spell heavy. I might have issues against Lilas. My opponents have Chaos Dragons. They start using Lilas now.
Breaker.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, I like the whole the idea of stunning 2 MSDs for stop the traps, I guess. They have Tribute, Torrential Tributes, kill, Relinquish. People bottomlessing, Gores, whatever, and then whatever Exceed into a Tour Guides usually dies. Staple.
Dark
Staple. Staple, I guess,
Alert.
with a lot of darks. And I think 1 is necessary just to, just get... I have way too many searching cards in the deck, so I don't need that much, especially around special
And
summon.
no traps, because he's a pro. And then side deck.
Side deck. Mentioned earlier, Thunder Kings, stop searches. Extra spellcasters, get through, cards that are indestructible. Just in case I feel like I'm not milling enough on my darks, this needs to come. I need an extra beat stick against Machinas or whatever.
Heroes, Gravekeeper, stuff that you get over.
Extra stunning, so this is...
Chain burns.
So this kind of, stops chain burns.
Final countdown.
To an extent, it stops even heroes. Yeah, final countdowns for sure. Some rabbits even,
So.
Once I get Jinzo and I have the special Relinquish with the releaser effect,
pretty much
instant stops, they have to just rely on effects. Heralds against Insectors, I might put in 3. Honest, if I'm feeling aggressive, I'll head towards more of my light monsters, so Thunder Kings. I have 3 Manjus,
And then...
Honest, it saved me earlier today in the regionals today. Stops against rabbits.
it doesn't stop it.
Oh, not much, but on the
Yeah, the Logia.
The Logias.
Yeah.
Just get rid of their...
Change appearance for Rabbit and Tour Guide.
Yep.
And Card D.
A big staple.
Amazing.
And my last card is just... It was one of those cards, it was like a jokey card.
House of Adhesive Tape.
It stops for rabbits. It's a trap hole, but for 500 attack.
If the defense of a monster summoned by your opponent, excluding special summons, is 500 points or less, the monster is destroyed.
So, it's just a card just to see people's reaction.
That's the side deck.
Yep.
And then the extra deck.
So, can't really afford much cards, but I only got a Levier.
Don't worry, I don't have a Zen Mains either.
Yeah.
Heck, I don't even have a Levier.
I have Mistworm somewhere. Just waiting.
Blackwing Dragon against Chainburn.
Yeah.
And that's what he has. So.
Well, I got Stardust, Brio. So my friend's borrowing them for his Monarchs. So, that's all I got.
The deck. Hope you play it or it's awesome. So
Yeah, it's just starting. So hopefully, I like the idea. And, Tour Guides is out everywhere. So hopefully it gives all you guys an opportunity to do it,
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man.